So apparently you can actually break faces and all. Okay. Anyhow. What? How did I miss that? How did I miss that? Buy your property. Okay, Daniel's note to self, at 19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask you how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Trying to find comfort and strength in that fact, there is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brennenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this would sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing, a shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I've tried everything and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness while Alexander waits and immortal him. Okay, so that's what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. Informal compounds like the protein by sensor close common orbit are given in the complete balance. This time I will attempt algorithm the converters in hope it will produce successful to society as it proves practical and use it. Jimmy, and somebody was Hereby offer my full attention over to Sir Alexander, Baron of Brandenburg. In this contract, wait for a total of 3 years when my freedom shall return to me in addition to Alexander, Baron of Brandenburg. This is recommended my sources at the Prussian my account and within the sanctum of the order. No, man, break the seal. That's right. Back when Prussia was a still thing. Oh, this was over 100 years ago. So, yeah, a lot changed. Like the existence of Prussia. Back when Prussia was a thing and it wasn't a part of Germany like it is now. Council 1801, 38. This letter was written 38 years before the events of this game. Another region which your floor is deep within the East Prussian woods. Now it's just deep within the, I guess, East German woods. Still, Prussia still a thing here. Centuries have been transferred in the hamlet and its neighborhood, Castle Brandenburg. Cry out forest colored mountains just with scattered lakes. Surrounded by the dog. Great, we're in a haunted castle, deep in the woods. Wonderful. Let me guess, next you're gonna tell me it's winter, so it's gonna be dark out for longer and it's gonna be colder, right? Hmm? Oh, wonderful. Well, what was he doing for a decade? At least a year. Hold on. So, this guy. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this. It's not that bad. Sounds like a German name. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known visited Ostend at the start of the 16th century, so around 1500. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice. Right now I'm trying to redo. I haven't played this game in 2 months since the 23rd day. Since 23rd day of the 3rd month of this year. In the meantime, I've been playing a lot of Audio 2, ordered the game recently, and more games. So right now I'm mainly trying to read everything I have right now, so I know what's going on, what I have to do. I kind of have some memories, like I remember when I ended the last stream I did of this. I see a shadowy figure, when I was at the end of the room, came into the room and looked down the hallway. Didn't see me, thank goodness. Then after he went away, I stood there for a little while longer. Didn't want, attract his attention. Then I just put up 4 boxes in a stack. It's on a wall. So at that point, I'd been playing for like an hour, so I was already paranoid. And then something appears in the hallway. I didn't exactly want to risk dealing with it. But right now, I don't remember enough. I don't remember enough of what's going on to be scared, honestly. This one's just weird, but so this guy, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, I'm not sure how to pronounce that properly, a well-known erudite, visited. I just don't know how to pronounce that. I try my best. Ostend at the start of the 16th century, so around 1500. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. Keep that in mind. One day, he went to investigate a boar in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Also important, Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. But he dismissed the notion of ever visiting Ostend, the area where he was supposed to have visited and was mentioned in many records, at all. Never visited there. Never went there. Which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? So someone who looks just like this guy, who appears just like this guy and all, enough to fool all prominent members of society, and was looking for remnants of kingdoms past in this area, and then went into the wood, then went to investigate a ball on northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. He just disappeared off the face of the earth. The guy is known to have passed away like a decade later, but he completely dismissed the notion of ever visiting there. So who was this guy who appeared just like him, and was there for looking for remnants of kingdoms past, and went to visit a bull and only to never be seen again? And whatever happened to him? This one's not so bad, but I read it. Oh, this one's a long one. The Immortal Baron. The Baron of Brandenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at the castle nearby Ostend, and likely most those of noble birth with rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the war as protector of the Prussian state. Prussia doesn't exist now. It hasn't existed for quite some time. And didn't it get consumed before the mid 19th century? I don't know, but anyhow, point being that it's Germany, so we cannot find Prussia anymore. Anyhow, Alexander helped the region to flourish and remain popular throughout his presumed lifetime. Only issue is he's still alive. He's still alive. This happened in the late 16th century. 1500s. This game takes place in 1839 to 1839. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. That's because I don't think he has any kids. I mean, does it sound like it? Certainly doesn't seem like it. Seems like the place has been abandoned for Seems like the place has been abandoned for centuries. But I have to go kill him, so yeah, this guy is over 1,000 years old. Good. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never fully been recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from us over 300 years ago. Lived through the time of occupation and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of this country. Okay, so apparently this game takes place in 1839 inside of Prussia. The deep woods of Prussia. This place is presumed to be was burned down or consumed by fire in the late 16th century, and then was rebuilt by a nobleman, Alexander. In the late and probably now in the early 17th century, so So in 1600s, like the beginning of the 1600s. Assuming that did happen in 1600 exactly, which I doubt it did, but rounding just to make it easier. Let's see. This guy is 239 years old. $239. Oh, and then but no, that's only if he was born 16. Oh, how do I go back to that? Notes. Local folktale. Yeah. Okay. So let's say he was in fact born in 1600 exactly. That means he's still 239 years old. Now correct me, now the oldest living person, like right now, the oldest person in the world up to date isn't even 130. But apparently this guy's 109 years old. But apparently this guy's 239 years old. But to add on to that, this sentence just adds on to our time. Okay, this has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the West over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, enjoying the coveted Order of the Black Eagle, along with the great leaders of this country. (1801). Okay, so beginning of 1800s. So let's say it's 1800, and let's say it was exactly 300 years ago to make the. So that would mean that this guy is, let's see, you don't have let's see, he was born 300 years ago from 1800, which would mean he was born in 1500, which would mean he's 380 339 years old. He would only have to be old enough to do all that. He'd only have to be old enough for him to come from the West by himself, meaning that he's oval. Meaning that he is well over 300 years old. Which means he's probably 400 years old. Right now, this is the kind of immortal where you don't get to die, but trade-off is you still age, and the age still shows. So you become disabled. Yeah. Okay, so he was probably born 340 years old ago, most likely. And moving on. So, regarding the closing of the wine cellar, William and his force have endangered my research long enough with the absent-minded handling of the human vessels. Wait, hold on, human vessels? I'm just going to talk about that later. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the force, and is killing my trusty service. What? It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brandenburg. I need to lock William and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off till the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whoever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both of my problems. Oh, hey Dad. Going back to this game after 2 months. Anyway, right now I'm just reading through all the notes and all. I kind of haven't played this in 2 months. Don't have the best of memory to what I'm doing. Okay, so my name is William, House of Gorge. I don't know. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the castle of Brandenburg. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Siri, for not reading that out loud all the way. 2 years ago, I was summoned to Castle Brandenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what this supposed Knight of the Order would want from me, and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim, and do so without asking any questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but came swiftly, and I accepted wholeheartedly. Yeah, I'm gonna be going over all of this in a minute. Ever since that day, I've brought men, women, and children. Ever since that day, I brought men, women, and children to Brandenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100. None of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer. I can wave while blood's pouring from his eyes. He's quite determined to write this letter of blood's beginning to pour from his sides. Although in reality this was probably very sloppily win and very quickly win. So that part was probably very sloppy. They just have to knead it all out to make it easier to read. Anyhow, so let's go over this. So that first paragraph doesn't really matter. It's pretty. Doesn't have anything alarming. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim, and to do so without asking questions. So, kidnap random people, just no reason, just random people just because he said so. You don't get to ask questions. then bought men, women, and children. Wait till people are bigger. These children he kidnapped better have been the biggest of the class. Because you can't really get much from a mini human, can you? Anyhow, and then but yes, this guy's so I don't know what I'm doing. So I know my main objective is to go into the inner chambers of this place and kill Alex. Alexander Breton. I forgot the last part of his last name though. Or Brettenborg, I think. I don't know. So, Dad, real quick, before you say to get anything about firearm being involved here, which, I would really like to be armed with a firearm right now. Did I just push a chair onto the floor? Okay. So I could do that now. But anyhow, this game takes place in Prussia. No clue how things were like in Prussia. I don't know if they're very strict or very relaxed firearm laws. And then on top of that, this takes place in 1839, right? That's exactly right. Or check. No, it's 1839. So this game takes place in 1839 in Prussia. If you're wondering how you spell Prussia, you're pretty much right, Russia. But before that, but lowercase the R, and in front of it put a P. But in front of the R, just put a P, and you got Prussia. Can't visit it anymore. Did I just hear someone? Did I just hear someone from you? Alright. Okay. So I'm gonna go grab a chair to make it to a tall door, so you can't open that door from the other side. I mean, even if I could get a firearm here, it would be terrible to reload. Probably wouldn't be very accurate. And other issues that come with using a gun from 1839. Also, Russia may have been probably strict about guns and all. I don't know. 18. I mean, I can't exactly look it up for now. There's one that wouldn't really apply that much now, and two, Russia doesn't exist anymore. So. Bye. I just have that place yet. That's if you had seen the end, at the very end of the last stream, this game I did 2 months ago, you would see that at the very end, a shadowy figure steps into the room I'm in. While I'm at the very end of the hallway, I turn around, there's a shadowy figure there. Didn't see it didn't actually see it enter, but I saw it there when I turned around. I then proceeded to just stay in the corner for the longest time until I couldn't see anymore, and it looked like it left. At that point, I had gone ahead and made a little wall made up of 4 boxes stacked on top of each other. Piles of 2 boxes in each pile right next to each other, creating a wall. I then did not move after that. I was too afraid. Now here we are 2 months later, and I'm now realizing that any rooms I go into now, there's a chance that figure is in them. Because if you go down that hallway there and take a right, that figure is in there. It's in there. And it's not left that spot. And I could have gone to the room next to it. Could have gone out there. Could have gone through any of these doors. Exception of that one. And that one, because it was just sealed up. Other than again, this might have gone there. So that means that there's a pretty good chance. That being said, it could be anywhere here. Am I supposed to sack this? Anyhow. Means I could run into it at any time, which is just making me more paranoid of going through any of these doors. Okay, I forgot what I was doing. Okay, so I'm looking for chemicals. Okay. 16th of May. It's now August in the game here. The British Museum takes everything. The only reason that also, I'm pretty sure the only reason the pyramids are on there is because you can't move the pyramids. Okay, next day. Same day, but inside the chamber now. Okay, I'm gonna read this all out loud. Okay. Daniel Zaire, Algeria. Yes. Page 1 of 3. 16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. And Professor Holbert managed to find the location of in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin and the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right. I can't help throwing there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way, late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back. To take back to London and the British Museum. Daniel's Diary, Algeria, page 2 of 3. 17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today I took some men and ventured into the dark ancient passage as we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly and I felt the strange language getting to me. I mustered. Sorry, I had to issue with the headset there. They argued loudly, and I felt the strange language getting to me. Though I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes in broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity with them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped. Daniel's Diary, Algeria, page 3. 1839, same day as the last one. Inside the chamber. So this is what happened while he was, trapped inside. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself towards the enchanting light. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself towards the enchanting light. It was waiting for me, enclosed in dark nothingness. I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirited me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasping firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic. Man, how nice is that? Okay, so I've read all of the notes, 3 pages of diary, and the mementos. You know what? Next time I stream this, it's gonna. Okay. If you don't want. If you don't want to open up, I won't make you open up. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the gather is only happen at night, but. Okay, in reality here. In reality here, I'd probably I'll just break that window and get out. I don't care if I have to. I'll just point out, if my options were dealing with this, or just having to go down a castle wall like I'm Spider-Man, I'd rather go down a castle wall like I'm Spider-Man. Okay, that's a bit of a safer option because, you know, there isn't a demon chasing you and coming after you, which is nice. Very nice. That's when you don't have a spirit demon chasing after you, when you have to kill a 400-year-old. But country that no longer exists. Okay, all the spot on this podcast, I'm probably gonna be streaming this again, probably Wednesday. So I headphone difficulties. Anyhow, yeah, I most likely will be doing a stream tomorrow, but not of this. First one, because I cannot start this while it's still light out, really. So, give someone some light. So, I'm going to be streaming this game specifically Wednesday. Midday Wednesday, most likely. But that's probably most likely time I'd be live streaming this. But then, right, 1 p.m. So, I don't know. Most likely we'll be doing a stream tomorrow. Not of audio 2 because I have to sort out. Apparently, with that game, the saves don't automatically transfer consoles if your account's on more than one console. You have to make sure, like, if there's an issue, it doesn't try to automatically fix itself. You have to manually fix it. It's an issue of just about all the saves uploading. And even then, you still have to download them. It's a whole issue. So, I won't be. Most likely won't be doing that tomorrow. Then, definitely not gonna be doing this because by the time I would be able to stream it for a long while, it's gonna be kind of beginning to get dark out. I'm not playing this while it's dark. I'm not going to begin streaming this while it's dark out. No, not a chance. Anyhow. So, yeah, I'll be doing So, anyhow, I'm gonna be in a stream now. This game just put me on edge.